In fact, Bangladesh is now celebrating its remarkable success of attaining 1% open defecation free status in 2015. I personally think that the basic reason behind that is it became a social movement. It was not a job of the government. It was a collaborative effort by the government, development partners and community at large. So that was the secret behind this success. So in fact, right now, about 80,000 tons of fecal waste is generated every day in Bangladesh, and of which only 1% is treated. We resolved the problem of toilet facilities. People are using the toilet facilities, that's fine, they are not defecating openly, but now we are encountering a second generation problem called fecal sludge management, because most of the treated, 99% sludge is not being treated, so ultimately this sludge is polluting the environment. Yes, many organizations right now in Bangladesh are working for fecal sludge management and dealing with fecal sludge management, but the problem associated with most of the organization is that everyone is trying to concentrate their effort on treatment aspect. So carrying, transportation and treatment and producing the compost, then what next? Nobody is thinking how to market this compost, because that's the very critical part. Practical action is taking a holistic approach, and it is considering the sanitation value chain, that means up to the production of compost, and the marketing, and I will call it product value chain, that how the market will be the product will be marketed and farmers will be using. So we are taking into consideration that part as well. Let me clarify in a way, there is a cost of everything. So you have to think what is the cost associated with converting sludge into compost versus sludge into energy, and what are the requirements of the end product, the requirement of compost or requirement of energy. For example, in case of Bangladesh, if you look at the soil structure, farmers are using overdose of chemical fertilizer, and it is losing its soil fertility, soil structure is destroying. So it needs to refill the organic matter in the soil. So it is an urgent need of the country. So compost has a demand, isn't it? So that is one of the reasons that fecal waste should be converted into compost, and the technology concern is much easier. In case of converting fecal waste into other form of energy, many of them are not properly tested or not properly oriented by many people. For example, there are evidences that it can be converted into biogas. Yes, many of the organizations are doing, including practical action, but that yet not popularized. So we need more and more R&D on this, and then we can really implement that field. I would say the challenges for not only practical action, the challenges for the country is promoting and marketing of compost. The reason behind that government gives huge subsidy to chemical fertilizer. It's almost 66%. So under these circumstances, why a private sector will come into the field, come and produce organic fertilizer or compost and sell it. So there is an issue of policy, conducive policy environment for the private sector to come in and join and promote this compost, and that is absent right at the moment. So we have to work hard for policy advocacy and making more use, promote more use of compost, and we should be advocating for balanced utilization of balanced use of fertilizer. It's not only chemical fertilizer, it should be accompanied by compost or organic fertilizer. That should be our advocacy agenda. in Bangladesh, we are the organization who are taking care of the city-wide approach, and we will be opening up our new fecal waste composting plant, which will be considering city-wide approach in Faridpur. Perhaps this will be the biggest so far. So we are very much looking forward, and we adopted a holistic approach in this case, from contentment up to the reuse of the product. So we would like to set up a model for Bangladesh and other developing countries to introduce in its municipal level, and we are very much looking forward that whether this replicable model works and others are taking it from us, and we will be happy to do so. And the second point, we are strongly advocating for balanced use of chemical and organic fertilizer for the soil health. So we are in a way promoting the compost from fecal waste in use. So these two are our objectives right now.